This is Made for More Living with Johnny Jennings, powered by eXp Realty. Online at madeformoreliving.com.
Why do agents charge so much money? I hear that question all the time. Like, they did nothing. They did nothing for this money, and now they're wanting to take a piece of my hard-earned equity. Why, Johnny, do you guys charge so much? Have you ever been asked that? Have you ever wondered that question, Matt?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of my friends and family wonder, I had a friend who just sold her house and she was happy that it sold for so much, so there's that side of it. It's like, oh, I'm so excited that it sold for so much. And then, of course, my realtor, they got 6%. So they're making a bundle off of my home.
For doing nothing.
For doing nothing,
yeah.
Right. Come on, what did they do? They just signed some paperwork. I could have done that.
I wish it was that easy.
But on the other hand, she's still excited that her home sold for so much, more than what she was expecting.
Yep. So, there you go. So I would argue, hopefully that agent did their job there, right?
Right.
But So how do real estate commissions work? This is something that I want to peel back the curtain a little bit on and just shine a spotlight and get some clarity around it. So generically speaking, that 6%. Let's just say it's 6%. There's not a set standard commission that is. If anybody's telling you that, they're breaking the law. Like, there is no standard commission. But commonly, what you see is 6%. Even in today's market, even in the local Sacramento region, still commonly seen 6%.
Break that down. It means 6% in total.
Total commissions.
That's split up, right?
Correct. So it's typically it's split 50% to the agent representing you, the seller, and typically 50% to the agent that brings the buyer. So that 6% now turns into 3%. So for your friend who worked with that listing agent was not paid 6%. She might have been paid, in this example, she might have been paid 3%, okay? So now we're dealing with the 3%. So out of that 3%, how is it typically broken up? Well, on average, broad brush strokes here, but on average, 1/3%, so 1% goes to the broker, 1/3%, or that second percent goes to taxes, and that last third of a percent goes towards living and marketing. Right? So that's paying the realtor's gas, it's paying the realtor's mortgage, it's paying for their food, it's putting shoes on their kids,
right.
It's paying for their life and marketing. And so when somebody is saying, hey, will you adjust your commission a little bit, you have to realize that you're bumping up against one of those 3 things. The brokerage is going to get their piece, right? That's just baked into it. Taxes are going to get paid regardless, and if they don't, then the agent's going to end up on a payment plan, and that's that's a whole nother conversation. So what do you think they're going to skimp on? Because they got to pay their mortgage, so they got to put food on the table. They're probably going to skimp on marketing. And so when you are negotiating down from that, if your agent doesn't have a robust marketing plan, if they're just doing the 3 Ps, then yeah, negotiate them down. But if they're providing print marketing, if they're doing digital marketing, if they have a Bay Area buyer program, if they're running radio ads that are generating traffic to their websites where your home will be featured, if they have a team of 8 to 10 people who are proactively calling through the neighborhood, like if they're doing all these other things beyond putting it in the MLS and putting a sign in the yard, then what you're doing as you negotiate against yourself, you're negotiating against yourself. Okay, so that's essentially how the three buckets work in real estate. You got the brokerage, you got the taxes, and you got living and marketing expenses. Does that make sense?
Sure, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, and keep in mind that real estate agents are self-employed. So, with the exception of, I think, Redfin, they're salaried, like they're like a base with bonuses. But most other real estate agents are self-employed. So they do not receive a commission. They do not receive a dime until they achieve a successful sale, until they help you get the price you want.
Yeah, so every time they're going out and, showing a house or driving around, signs, all of that, gas, they're paying for that all out of pocket, right?
Correct. Yeah. Okay. And what you don't see behind the scenes.
And then there's fees incorporated as well, right?
Yeah, there's so many fees.
I don't think a lot of people know about those.
Most people, it surprises me how many people will pay for the schooling, go through the background check, take the test, and then be like, wait, what? I got to pay more?
Right.
It's like, yeah, you got to pay more. And these are
on a regular basis.
These are annual dues. Like, these are not going away. And then they're like, well, what do you mean I need a website? What do you mean I need a CRM? What do you mean I need a marketing system? Like, you're self-employed. There's nobody providing this for you. Mm-hmm. Okay, your brokerage might provide some generic stuff out of the box, right? But it's up to you to either figure out how to use it or to pay for systems that are going to actually work. And so that's a benefit to most agents being on the team. So, for example, here at Made for More, we consider ourselves a launching platform for agents. We realize the life cycle for an agent. Typically, they start out on a team, so that way they can learn how to correctly represent buyers and sellers. They build up that book of business, and then they launch into their solo career, right? So now they're a solo agent, and then from there, they either start their own team or they just remain a solo agent with like assistants and stuff helping them with the process. So we realize that 3-step process from team, solo, team. We understand that. And so our goal is not to keep an agent down, but to actually help them launch. And so how we help them launch is we provide them, I used to say a business in a box, but that just doesn't do it justice. We provide them with a fighter jet. And so the reason why I say a fighter jet is most agents, if you told them business in a box, they think, okay, I can self-learn all this stuff and it'll be fine. But if I handed you all the tools that we provide, agents do not know how to use them. It's like handing them a fighter jet, and they're like, "How do I turn this on? Right. How do I get to the taxi down the runway, let alone fly the thing?" And so what we do is we provide agents with a CRM and a website.
A CRM.
Yeah, so CRM's consumer relationship management. So it's a top tier CRM that enables them to keep notes on all their different files and just organize all these different people they're working with. So that way they can provide a higher level of service to their clients.
Okay.
Rather than keeping it on sticky notes in a notepad.
Right.
And so then we also provide them with a marketing system. So that way they stay top of mind, and then that way they can adequately represent their clients when they're promoting their clients' properties. Sure. And then here's the ad spend. So most agents, they're taught do open houses, and they're taught, work your network, work the people who you know already. Okay, that's fine, but what happens when everybody in your network has bought a house with you? Like, there's only so many people in your network. You need to go out and find new people to help. And so you're going to need to augment that with marketing at some point. And what we're seeing is that on average, you can find somebody will raise their hand and say, "Hey, I'm thinking about doing something," for about $15. But that has about a 1% conversion rate. Really? Yeah. So that means you would need to spend $15 100 times, or put another way, $1,500 to get somebody that's going to move forward and actually sell a home or buy a home with you. So your marketing budget would need to be at least $1,500 a month, right? And then every agent, we always recommend have a coach. Have a coach. The cheapest coaches that I've ever had were the worst. And the best ones I ever had, I paid the most for. So a good barometer is a coach should cost you about $1,000 a month. A good coach. They'll make you that in spades, and they'll just launch your career. And the last thing is a marketing designer. So who's going to design the flyers? Who's going to design the social media posts? Who's going to help you with the website? Who's going to do all that realtor-y stuff that you see on social and on Google ads and Facebook ads? And so a good marketing designer, if you hire them a virtual one overseas, are about $5 an hour minimum. And for 40 hours a week, that equates to about $800 a month. So those are the basic things that you need. You need a CRM, you need a website, you need a marketing system, you need an ad budget, you need a coach, and you need a marketing designer. Those are the basic things that we provide our agents at the Made for More team upfront and no out-of-pocket expense. If they were to go and buy on their own the tools, like if you're curious about what tools we use, I'm happy to have a conversation about it. But it would cost you about $4,320 every single month. Whether you're closing a house or whether you're not closing a house, that payment is going out. Sure. And on the team, we shoulder that burden for you until you're able to take it on for yourself and launch your career as a solo agent.
Awesome. So if they're listening and maybe they have been incorporating some of those tools, but it's just not working because maybe they're not utilizing them the right way, or maybe they're mediocre and they're not the top of the line that you guys use. What's the best way for an agent to come and at least just talk with you? You guys got a brand new state-of-the-art office suite, gorgeous. Right? That's just opening up. Over 7,000 square feet, 2 conference rooms in Roseville, signing room. And they get access to that, right? Oh, absolutely. There's no desk fee. There's no monthly cost to them. So that's just amazing. So there's so many benefits. Obviously, you guys are the most Googled, one of the most successful teams in all of Northern California, and people think, well, there's no way I'm going to be able to get on that team. There's just no room. Obviously, you guys are just too successful, and you only want top of the line agents. But if there's agents struggling right now, or they just want to go to the next level, right?
Yep.
They want to be successful. They want to, reach that plateau where they're at that plateau and they just want to go further. They can reach out to you guys.
Absolutely. So I will say this: I am not a coach. That is not my goal. I help people buy and sell houses, and I help my team. That is my core focus. And so if you are looking for coaching, like I'm just not your guy. That's not what I do. But if you're looking for a team, if you're looking for a culture, or even if you just have some questions, I'm happy to help anybody. Because again, one of my mentors, Brent Gove, said a rising tide lifts all ships. And so I'm happy to help. And so if you want to reach out to me, you can just go to madeformoreliving.com. You can Google us and just say, hey, I'm interested in connecting with Johnny.
Yeah.
And a member of my team will set that up.
Made4living.com. Made4living.com. What else? Anything else before we let them go?
Nope.
Last words.
And so if you are a buyer or seller and you are just kind of curious and want to know more about how realtors make money, or if you're curious about like what are we doing to market our clients' properties? Like we spend on average about $500,000 a year in marketing. If you're wanting to know more about that, reach out to us. If you are wanting to buy a home and you're not wanting to overpay for a home, reach out to us. We specialize in that. And then if you're looking to get in the industry, or if you are in the industry and you're looking to take it to the next level, reach out to us. So buyers, sellers, agents, we're here to help.
Made4living.com. Thanks, buddy.
Absolutely. Thanks, Matt.